Let's rock and roll. Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Your ultimate intimate conversation with your favorite artist. I am Stefan ADIKA. You are beautiful. And today we have the legendary, handsome, wonderful Mr. John Davidson. He'll be coming up here in about 1 minute, 1 second. Look at that man. He's handsome and debonair. But in the meantime, children, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when we are coming on, because you don't want to miss any stuff that we have going on. Put your hands together for the fabulous, wonderful, handsome Mr. John Davidson. John, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're back in Hollywood, you and I. Thank you for being here, sir. Thank you very much.
It's good to be here. I'm what you see in the background is Club Sandwich. I got a bunch of memorabilia on the wall and stuff, and I'm in my new musical venue in Sandwich, New Hampshire. It's called Club Sandwich, and I do shows every Friday and Saturday night, and then Sunday matinees, and then I present guest artists on Thursdays.
So here we go, everybody. Club Sandwich. This is where the action is. Links will be in our description down below. And let's talk to John about Club Sandwich. There you are, right in front of it, huh? Right there, promoting it out there. There you are, looking great. So when did you start? Tell me about. When did you start all this?
Well, I moved up to New Hampshire because I found a great old farmhouse that I liked. I lived in the Berkshires in Western Mass for a while, and I've always wanted to have some acreage and an old farmhouse. So we fixed up an old farmhouse in Sandwich. And then there was this old barn in Center Sandwich. Ever since I haven't been doing as much television, ever since Hollywood Squares went off and my version of Squares went off and Tom Bergeron started hosting it. I've been doing one-nighters all over New England and, well, all over the country, really. But and I thought, instead of traveling, why don't I just have a barn and I'll do my own show and a little showroom that seats just like 40, 45 people. And last season was our first season, and now we're in our second season. Last year, all our shows were sold out. Every single show was sold out. Of course, we only have 42, 43 seats. But all our seats are couches. They're overstuffed chairs. So they're not really like... you can sleep very well during my show, and it's a very comfortable. And I have a rear screen projection thing that's behind me, so I can be singing in the woods or at the ocean, and if I'm doing a Kenny Rogers medley or something, I'll have a picture of Kenny up there, and if I'm doing something about me, I'll have pictures of my family and stuff, so I can use that rear screen projection in my show. A lot of lighting effects. We have when we go back to the 50s, I do some stuff lost in the 50s tonight and use a mirror ball and a bunch of just really silly things we do. Anyway, it's when we're live streaming this year, it's at 7:00 Eastern time on YouTube. We're live streaming John Davidson live from Club Sandwich.
That's kind of like what we do we do live. I have a morning show with a doctor, and then I have entertainers with you on my music channel, because let's get down and deep. It looks like Sergeant Pepper behind you and a little mixture of the Carol Burnett show. I'm looking right behind you. You have a lot of stuff.
Well, I think
looks festive.
Those are outfits that I've worn in Vegas, and I did a production of Music Man. So one of them was for 76 Trombones, and another one was for my talk show. Oh, and then there's That's Incredible. I hosted a show called That's Incredible, and this is the jacket that people would want in. They always wanted That's Incredible.
That's
jacket.
So cool.
Yeah,
John, let me tell you something. You don't explain to me who you are. I am so thrilled right now, and you don't even know. And really, you did the man back Ed Sullivan days. He goes, the handsome John Davidson. He gives you so you're a musician. Before I even knew this, when I used to watch That's Incredible, Hollywood Squares, all this stuff, you got music. The other day I was listening to your version of Sunny. And if anybody out there watching this, download it, because his version is great of Sunny. It just got me all in the mood.
I've always liked that tune. Yeah.
Oh,
Sunny.
Great.
Yesterday, my life was filled with rain. Yeah.
Okay, here's how you and I are going to bond. I'm going to ask you a tough question here. I need to know your top 5 must-have vinyl albums. Only 5 on a deserted island, desert, wherever you are, Gilligan's Island. What were the 5 albums you want to be stuck with?
Well, I'll tell you, I hate to say this. This sounds egotistical, but it would be. I've got an album of love songs that I am so proud of that I did years ago. It's called Love Songs, John Davidson. So I would have that of myself. You know why I would? Because I forget. Sometimes I lose faith in myself, and sometimes I get insecure. So I like to play some of my favorite recordings to remind myself that I've done some great stuff. And I'm 80 now. I turned 80 last December.
God bless
And
you.
So I would have one of my. Then what else would I? What would I have? Strangely, I would have something classical, Mozart, or I love listening to Mozart. Because I can't do that. I like to listen to other people because people that don't do what not pop singers so much, but classical music, Mozart, or maybe um, um, blues. I like to listen to flat out, really badass blues artists because I can't do that. I'm just too
Really?
square, and yeah, I can't do blues. So I like to listen to blues. What else? I like. There's a group called the Proclaimers. They're an Irish group. They had a hit called "I Would Walk 500 Miles,"
Yeah.
and I like their stuff because it's just good old rock and roll. So it's a wide variety of things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Does that make up to
And
5? I don't know.
yeah, and then give me one more.
Oh, I'm still a Johnny Mathis fan. I'm amazed. I know it sounds corny, but not corny, but Mathis made such an incredible sound, such a pure vocal sound. So one of my albums would be probably a Johnny Mathis. They would have, chances are, some of the old classics. Nothing that modern on it.
Mhm.
I also like coffee shop singer songwriters. Coffee house singer songwriters. I'm a big fan of a guy named Vance Gilbert, who's like, he's not folk, he's not country, he's not jazz, but he's all of those things.
Yeah.
So it's a wide variety of stuff. It's kind of weird.
You know what? I'm with you on that. And it's funny you mentioned Mathis because I have the vinyl in the other room, his album More, and one of my favorite singers. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just the entity, just the vocal. I'm all over the place. Like I like blues, and then I go for my Beatles and my Stones and classical like you, a lot of Motown. I love Motown.
Oh, Motown. Forget about it. Motown, really, I've always wished that they could do I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. And all the Smokey Robinson stuff. Again, because I can't do that. Mama said, don't get married right away. What is it?
Oh yeah. Yes, I know the song you're talking. Is it Mama Said It? No, that's a different. It's a Sherelle. I'm thinking Sherelle's right now, but I know what you're talking about.
My mama told me.
That's right.
You better shop around.
Shop.
Yeah, I just love it.
But John, you're pretty incredible as an entertainer, and you really are, because Broadway, being a TV host for the major shows that were out there. You were Ryan Seacrest before he was Seacrest. You were out there. Really, you were everywhere. And
Ryan Seacrest is very good now. Now you're talking about the other guy.
Well, yeah. He's the new Dick Clark, and you
That's
got
right.
a chance to be interviewed by Dick Clark. I want to ask you, what kind of guy was Dick Clark like?
Very much feet on the ground, honest. He helped me so much. There were years there where he and his wife Carrie would give me advice on what shows to take. There were years when I was like the Tom Bergeron of talk shows and game shows, and I would get offered like 2 at the same time, the way Tom Bergeron was just recently. So and I would say to Dick, should I do this? And he would say, yeah, do it. And I said to Dick, well, when are you going to retire? He said, I will never retire. I will keep doing this. Even after he had his stroke, he was still doing his. Am I still on? Did I cut myself off?
You're still good. You're still good. You're okay. You're fine.
But Yeah, Dick Clark was a good friend that way, and always very honest with me. And you see, I had my first the guy who discovered me on Broadway in the '60s was a guy named Bob Banner, who was very much like not a performer, but he was a variety show producer. Bob Banner did the Gary Moore Show and the Dinah Shore Show, and he did
Hmm.
Solid Gold, Solid
Yeah.
Gold.
Yes.
Uh, and he said, you don't want to be just a spear, you want to be a Swiss Army knife. He said, you want to do it all. You want to be able to do everything. That's what makes the broad, big careers. And so he fashioned a career for me that would play Las Vegas and do a situation comedy like with Sally Field. I did a sitcom with Sally Field called The Girl with Something Extra. I played her husband. And you want to do movies? Want to do clubs, concerts? You sing with symphonies and sing with little small bands and uh, and then you of course you want to do live theater. I started by doing Broadway and I still love getting back and doing a musical. I toured just a couple of years ago. I toured with Wicked. I played the wizard in Wicked for
Wow.
a couple of years, and then Finding Neverland, playing Captain Hook and Charles Frohman. So I love doing musicals. I started on Broadway by playing a revival of Oklahoma, playing Curly in Oklahoma. It's been a very confusing career.
You have had a wild career.
Yeah, but it is confusing to people because I've never had a hit record. I don't have any identifiable music because I didn't spend enough time doing singles. I should have spent a lot more time. Tony Orlando tried to help me get a hit single, and I was just too Broadway early on, and I didn't spend enough time in the recording studio. So that's the one area that I feel I've neglected. I mean,
It-
I don't have a please release me, let me
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
You know. So
But you didn't you have every time I sing a love song? Was
thank
that
you for remembering that. Yes, that's my biggest record. Yeah, it only went like top 20 easy listening or something. Every time I sing a love song, I'll be singing it to you. Yeah, but
it,
it didn't. It wasn't a hit, but it got some play. Yeah.
but it peaked, but it's an accomplishment. You mentioned Tony Orlando, one of my favorites too, and I'm all over the map too as an entertainer. The people I like, so I get what you're saying. It's like almost you're a man of fully talent, but then hard to label you at the same time. Like okay,
Well, it's confusing when I
for the
say
public.
it is. Yeah. Okay. Let's go see John Davidson. Well, what's he gonna do? Because I hosted Hollywood Squares. Is he gonna play tic tac toe? No, he's not. Because I hosted That's Incredible. Is he gonna show weird people doing weird things? No. He sings, and over the last 20 years, I've been writing songs. So I have a lot of my original tunes, and my latest song is "Spend one night with an old guy, and you'll never go back to the boys." uh, I write a lot of comedy songs. Yeah.
No, but you got such a great personality, and I'll tell you something. I've been digging in on your interviews. So when I'm talking to a guy like you, your interviews go really deep. You recently do. If I could pull up a little clip for everybody to see, you did with Gilbert Gottfried, and you
Oh, yeah.
got you caught a side of the late great Gilbert Gottfried, not being so that Brooklyn, loud guy, and it was real. Just you went deep into it, and here's a little clip of it for everybody watching.
You go off stage and say, God, I just wasn't funny enough. Are you?
Oh, yeah.
You get down on yourself. You try,
Yes.
How can I make it funnier? Because a lot of comedians are too hard on themselves.
Sometimes when I'm on stage, I feel like, or doing an interview, I feel like, oh, well, that was a bad Gilbert Gottfried imitation I just did.
You feel a need now in your 60s to reinvent yourself.
No, because it's like, basically the old expression, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I feel like, honestly, if people are stupid enough to still hire me, then I'm there.
That's great. I mean, you really
What a guy.
What a guy,
Yeah.
huh?
What
Great
a
guy.
guy. Just he came to see me at Birdland with Paul Schaefer, a buddy of his from the Letterman
Yeah.
days. Yeah, Gilbert was just, and he helped me. He and his wife Dara helped me to kind of loosen up and stuff. And he works very hard. Gilbert Gottfried seems like he's just winging it. He is very prepared. We work very hard, and I miss him. I'm so sorry he's gone.
Yeah. Your interviewing style is so great. And another one you did, a favorite of mine, is when you had Ringo Starr on.
No,
What a great interview that was
no,
with
it
Barbara.
wasn't.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No, it wasn't. No, he was stoned. He was
I know,
stoned.
but the way you handled yourself as on
No,
being the other side, come
no,
on.
you didn't see it. Maybe you saw a little piece of it, but the whole thing is, I couldn't handle him. I was just he was promoting his movie, A Caveman, I think. It was Barbara Bach, I guess, and
Yes, and Andy Gibb was on there.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish Ringo had been sober and we would have had an interview or something. But when you're a Beatle, I mean, nothing was bigger than the Beatles. Maybe Elvis or whatever. But so I just had so many questions I want to ask him, and he was stoned. So I don't know. It was
yeah, but you had a lot. You're a big Beatle fan, I'm sure. Like we all are.
Sure.
I'm sure. Yeah. But now the new Ringo is not. He doesn't even know that Ringo anymore. You know.
I don't even know. I don't know.
You don't even know. So okay, right now, is this true? No. Was Star Search originally offered to you? Did you turn it down? Well, you did.
Yeah, because it was produced by Bob Banner, and at the time, I wanted to either act or sing. And he said, "Well, I'm doing this new talent thing, and I'd like you to host it." And he said, "It was." I think he first offered it to the guy from the two guys, Tom Wopat, and what was the show where they Southern two guys were a lot of car chases and stuff.
Dukes of Hazzard, right? Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard.
Yes.
So who was the taller guy on that? The Dukes of Hazzard.
It was John Schneider. John Schneider. That's right.
I think they'd offered it John Schneider, and I think he turned it down. And I said, I don't want to do that. I want to sing or act. And so Bob Banner went with Ed McMahon, and Ed McMahon became the host of it, and he was great. So
he was great. But you know what? You got to do That's Incredible, which was a great show. You did a lot. Hollywood Squares. I mean, a lot. I mean, if we go down the list of everything you've done, That's Incredible.
I was pretty much a whore. I would do it all. Whatever. Just I love performing. I love making it happen. I especially like shows where you're kind of winging it,
Yeah.
And in my live show, I've always liked my Vegas show or the show like I'm doing here at Club Sandwich, because a lot of it I'm winging it. I've gotten certain planned stuff, but you're improvising. It's just like your show, Stephan.
You roll with it. I want to ask you, because I'm such a fan of a lot of work you did, and I got to ask you, as far as guests coming on your show now, do you have anybody coming on? Anything in the works that we could tell people about?
Yeah, I've got Vance Gilbert coming in. Ellis Paul is coming in. I've got a mentalist. I'm reaching out. I'm doing a magician this year. B.J. Hickman's. He's a great entertainer. The mentalist is John Stetson, like the hat Stetson.
Yeah.
He's a mentalist. I was going to say like Kreskin, but he's nothing like Kreskin. He's a wonderful entertainer. It's a lot of singer-songwriters. So many of them are sold out. Local to New England, but then some from national tours. I don't have the sheet in front of me. I should be telling you. But if you want to find out who's playing Club Sandwich, you can go to johndavidson.com. That's how you buy tickets. Go to johndavidson.com and click on Club Sandwich, and you can see all our guest performers and when I'm singing too.
Yeah, that's great. I got to tell you something. Tell you something really quick. Streets of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Your episode in that and the character you played.
Yeah. I played the part of a female impersonator. I was looking for something weird. My manager said, let's branch out. Let's do something. I had just done the Disney musicals, Happiest Millionaire and Family Band with Leslie Ann Warren. It was so fabulous. And those were the two musicals after Mary Poppins. So I was the romantic lead in those. It was great. And then he said, let's do something really different. So Streets of San Francisco, I played a killer who would half the show I was a woman, half the show I was a man, and it was weird, but it was fun to really play. It was almost like a murder mystery.
Yeah, it was a great episode, and you got the grace to cover with the Cosmopolitan with the other greats like Burt Reynolds and.
Now remember, that wasn't naked. I was wearing a towel.
You were wearing a towel.
It wasn't like Playgirl. I was wearing a towel that was very appropriately draped, and it was weird. But again, my manager said, "Let's try something different." So
I mean,
my folks had a big problem with that.
Did they really
Yeah,
have a problem with that?
I come from a very conservative family. My dad was a Baptist preacher,
Mhm.
and my mother was an ordained Baptist minister. I'm not religious at all. I'm none of my three brothers, we have four guys in all, and none of us are religious at all. But my folks were, and so they said, "What are you doing? What are you?" So it was probably a crazy move, but I don't know, something crazy.
You know what? It made you a rebel. I mean, you didn't see anybody. It made you a rebel. But there was, your story is pretty crazy because also there was it at the Beverly Hills Supper Club in '77. I remember that hearing about the news, but you were out there trying to help people, right? Saving the people too, huh?
No, I didn't. All I did was hold the door. That I was in a fire at the Beverly Hills Club in Newport, Kentucky. And as I went out the door, I just held it for several people, and somebody saw me doing that. I didn't. I was just getting out myself. No.
Yeah.
But it was such a tragedy, and I lost my musical director in the fire, and a lot of the band members died as well. 166 people died. 166 people. It was such a tragedy.
Wow.
But it was too crowded, but I was able to get out a back door. And so anyway, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, but then you ended up doing a charity concert to raise funds for the families, right? For the fire.
Yeah.
You did all that too. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what, John? I got to tell you something. Incredible guy, incredible entertainer, and it was really nice to have a conversation with you. I don't want to keep you all busy here, but I'd love to have you come back again. But in the meantime, you're on Cameo. If people want to find you, links are down below. We got Club Sandwich. Let's put that up there for everybody to see. That links will be down below. And tell John that you're friends with Stefan. The guy is great, handsome. That's incredible. I can't believe I got to talk with you. I'm very thrilled.
Thanks.
Before I let you go, I'm Jewish and I like a little gossip. Hollywood squares. Was there any one square that annoyed you a little bit? Come on.
That annoyed me.
Yeah, that celebrity is just like, oh God, he's on again, or she.
No.
Okay.
Well, Milton Berle was on, and he would always do the old jokes and stuff. But no. He was great. He was funny. Okay. I can't think of anybody that didn't show up to play the game. It was a show where you'd. We had Alf on my version when I hosted it. Was my center square was Joan Rivers, and of course you'd always try to get Betty White and some of the Jim J. Bullock was a hilarious guy on the show. Shadow Stevens was our announcer, and so many great people. Of course, I was on the old squares with Charlie Weaver and Paul Lynn, who's so funny.
Oh.
You know that all the answers were written, right? They gave us all a funny answer. And so Paul Lynn was very funny at saying things, but he wasn't clever like Jonathan Winters or Tim Conway, or people like that. But he was very funny. He just developed this funny way of talking, very almost a little bit like Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
So I worked with so many great people, and I tried to pick up ideas from each of them, and it's been a great career. But the highlight of my career, Stefan, is being on your show, and I thank you for having me, and I hope to come back.
I hope so too. And one more thing I have to say, Johnny Carson, you got to host, you on it, and also got to host. That's a big one too.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, Johnny was very supportive of me and kept having me back on to guest host, and great experience. Well, what a gentleman, Johnny Carson. Yeah,
it really is. And you know what? I'll tell you something, John. I'll be like Johnny Carson. Anytime you want to help co-host with me, I'll let you come on. All right?
Okay. Thanks, Steph.
Thank you so much.
Keep doing it. You're doing it right, man. Thanks so much.
No, thank you, my friend. John Davidson, thank you for coming on. Give him a round of applause. We love you, John. Bye-bye. I'll let you go. Everybody, Mr. John Davidson. That's it. That's it, buddy. All right. There we are, everybody. I am ADIKA. You're all wonderful. In the chat, I want to thank Cooking with the Kid for your super chat. Thank you very much, kid. Thank you, Mr. Davidson, for all the great entertainment you have given our family over the years. Great to see everybody in here. Debbie Muller, Teresa, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming back on Patreon. She's in the house over there. Love you, love you, love you. And Debbie, that's right. The Colonel and my mom. We love you both. And I love you guys. I thank you all for being here. It was early. It was last minute. It was going to be in Patreon, this show. But I decided, you know what? Let me share with everybody. Now, I'm supposed to have Tommy Chong, I think tomorrow. Maybe that'll be in Patreon, or I think I have him booked Friday. I got it confirmed. I've been a little out of my mind. But for right now, John Davidson, links are down below. Check his act out. You can find him on Cameo. Everything is there. I am Stefan ADIKA. Enjoy your day. Love to everybody. Keep on laughing. And you know what? Love to you. Thank you so much for all being here. I really appreciate your love and support. And check out Patreon also. If you don't want to be a part of Patreon, share this show with somebody you think it's going to enjoy as much as you did as well. And our merch store and all that other stuff is still out there. And I ain't going nowhere. That's right. You love me or hate me, you're stuck with me. I am Stefan ADIKA. You're not. And the ones who know me and love me, I love you just as much as you love me. Until then, everybody, I will see you later. Until then, get out of here, you crazy kids. We are out of here. Stop right there. Before you head out of here, you're going to click on the box right up here for something else that's special and great, as you are. All righty? I'll see you all later. I truly love you all. Bam.